Hey, thanks for joining. I'm your host, Chris Gennaro. My co-host is Eric Rizk. And today we have Justin from Dangerous Thing on. How you doing?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Cool. So in December, you released a 4-song EP. It's the only thing that your band has out right now. And want to talk about like your crazy videos and all of that stuff. So I guess let's just start out with the videos, because they're definitely like way out there.
Right on. Yeah.
Especially the Better Buried one. It's got a lot of animation in it.
Yeah. It was always trying to do something a little bit different. I'm a graphic designer by like trade. Whenever the opportunity kind of comes up to focus those skills on something like that's been more of a passion project than like a paying the bills kind of thing, and time allows it, like I kind of jump all over it. So I had these like sketchbook filled with doodles and shit, and I came up with this like foot skull deal, which if you've seen that Better Buried video on YouTube or thedangerousthing.bandcamp.com, I was kind of drawn to that. I had that laying around for a few years, and I was like, I'm going to start a band, and like that's just going to be the logo. It's just going to be like the foot. It's like Prince, but it's like disgusting. You know what I mean? Like the symbol. But I didn't have the balls to like do that. So whatever, after like putting the band together, and I kind of like this imagery and some of the lyrical content, I could draw these loose, connections to have this visual output as well as a musical one. Kind of just went for it. So it's like a moving version of my sketchbook over the past like 2 years, pretty much.
So did you have help with the animation, or did you do all that stuff yourself?
I did all that myself, and I got it done in a week, I didn't talk to anybody, and and my girlfriend hated me like during that week, but it was, it's that frustration of like, well, nobody else is going to make it happen for you, so you got to do it yourself. And I kind of just put everything else aside and drew a lot. And I was pretty happy with the way it came out. I'm happy to hear that you guys liked it. It was pretty well received.
Yeah, definitely. When I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, I got to talk to this dude. It's just fucked up stuff. What program did you do it in, if you don't mind me asking?
I drew it all pretty much frame by frame on an iPad, like the iPad Pro, in Procreate is the name of the application. And then, cheated a little bit in After Effects. So bring all that stuff into Photoshop, and then from Photoshop to After Effects, and build these scenes out. But I wanted a lot of like the main sort of animation, like characters, if you will, to have like one animation loop cycle, and then build around that, like like a cartoons kind of built. Always, big fan of like Ren and Stimpy and the old Nickelodeon shit, and Rocko's Modern Life, and the really like the really up close and detailed like still shots of Ren and Stimpy and shit. I feel like a lot of that video is inspired by like a specific episode, the Lost in Space one, or like when they go on that planet and like there's a pile of like socks. Fun weird shit like that.
Yeah, I think Bill Ray is the dude that does all the up close stuff.
Yeah,
he's like a comic dude also.
I'm terrible with names, but I'll remember that one.
I worked at a comic book shop for years, so I know all types of geeky shit.
Oh yeah.
And John Kay is a creepy dude. I've seen him on some interviews, which I guess makes it fun,
Controversial boy.
I guess let's go for how you started it. I mean, it sounded like you had these ideas from the sketchbook. Tom, who plays bass, looking into your band and stuff, it looks like you were in some other projects with him. So let's talk a little bit about that, and the An Autopsy band, which I know sounds like it was years ago, but maybe was the formation of your starting to collaborate with Tom.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Tom has been like my best friend going back to middle school. And he like when we first became friends through like skateboarding and shit. and then developing like similar taste in music, and then kind of we followed a very similar road of like listening to, you know, classic rock that our dad gave us, to like, you know, discovering Iron Maiden and Sabbath and the hard rock, and then getting a little more extreme. And so we actually started playing guitar around the same time, and then eventually started like putting songs together and jamming like later in high school and in college a bit. So an Autopsy was the first band, I guess, where like we got to actually collaborate and record stuff and put that shit down. But yeah, I mean, it was a very like jokey kind of thing, you know, or at least didn't take things really seriously. The lyrical matter was very fart shit joke kind of stuff. And we were very wrapped up in that mid 2000s like deathcore thing that was going on, you know, that like Whitechapel, Despised Icon, you know, just starting to really get like discover like old Cannibal Corpse and shit back then. So so breakdowns, you know, we were there for playing shows and trying to get movement in the crowd, and you know, we'd wear stupid things, and we'd allegedly steal cardboard cutouts of giant chocolate milks from gas stations, and those would be all on the stage and shit. It was just a really like goofy, fun thing. But we were able to put out like a couple EPs and a full length, and then do some touring on it. So that was you know, we were like 19 years old or whatever, and put all of our money into a like 1983 Chevy Beauville, and get a U-Haul trailer and just like book a tour through MySpace and just like hit the road and shit, and really try and like cut our teeth. And you know, we discovered that we loved it. You know, we loved that grind of the road, and you know, driving till you can barely stay awake, and sleeping at Walmarts and stuff like that. And got to play some cool shows. You know what I mean?
You're like the fourth band that's mentioned sleeping at Walmarts that we've had on.
Yeah, because they don't tow the car away, right? That's the thing.
I just, it's just hilarious to me that this is like a known thing that I never knew about.
I didn't know either.
Yeah, we when you're on the interstate, like the ones that you see like tractor trailers at, or the Walmarts at like rest stops or something like that, you're generally allowed, if you have a trailer, to kind of like, or whatever, if you're road tripping, like spend the night. I do remember there was one time in whatever bumfuck state that we were with some other band called the Irish Front from Arizona, and this wasn't those kind of Walmarts. So we were hanging out and throwing a ball around and shit like that, just, you know, like playing like a fake volleyball game, like over the shopping cart, you know, turnstile deal. And a security guard came out to, you know, let us know that we couldn't be there. We had to move on. And we ended up convincing them that we were this traveling volleyball team from out of state, and all the gyms were closed, and we really needed to practice. So this was our only chance to practice. We had a couple people riding with us that were like, just, you know, just sweet talkers, just could, the old pro wrestling thing, sell a ketchup popsicle to a man in white gloves, if you will. I think Jim Ross said that. But yeah, so yeah.
So they bought it.
They bought it, and we got sleep. Made it to the show the next day.
Nice.
So, yeah, fun shit like that. That was a huge learning experience in that band, and lost a lot of money, and it was great. A lot of fun. Yeah.
So Tom is credited with producing the EP. He produced the EP.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and he's also credited with leads, like the guitar leads too.
Yeah, he's a way better guitar player than I am.
Okay.
Yeah, we found this like cool way to work together where I kind of wrote the songs and structured the songs out, and then sent them back and forth with him a few times, and you know, gave each other notes and tried some other shit out. And he was definitely the man to do. His lead guitar playing is like kind of miles ahead of mine. So yeah,
cool.
Yeah, he ripped it.
Yeah, awesome.
So,
and okay.
No, you go, Eric.
I was also going to say, because all right, I'm looking behind you. You said you're a graphic designer, but there's a lot of tools behind you. And I know that the tape sold out run of those custom coffin cases for the tape. You built those?
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, built all those in this little shop, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay. This is the shop. If you have one of those sold out tapes where it was.
I got two more here.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Not put together yet, but.
Nice.
Yeah, that was just another fun idea.
Yeah.
Was lucky enough during the whole pandemic deal to I work from home, so I work for myself, get to set my own schedule a little bit.
Nice.
Very fortunate in that respect.
Yeah.
And bought a lot of Milwaukee tools, because Home Depot was an essential business. So,
yeah.
Kind of just had the idea to put these tapes in a casket and send them out.
How much did the tapes in a casket go for?
I believe it was like 30 or 40, somewhere around there. Didn't want to price anybody out of it. Make it a cool little fun thing. As I think the last run I did, I individually painted each one or made each one like a different theme. Because I just get bored very quickly, like doing the same shit. So yeah, that was fun. Again, very well received, and I'm very humbled that they went so quickly. No one really knows Dangerous Things like a brand new. It's pretty much a project that's brand new, and it was cool to see a very nice response. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. How did you guys hook up? Because was it the tape licensed by a Malaysian label, Hostel Records?
They had reached out to me about a month or two after the release of the tape, and they said they wanted to do a Malaysian pressing.
Nice.
And put it out over there. And I know they've had some difficulties with getting them produced with COVID and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think those are available just yet.
Okay.
But the pressing that I did, the US one, I guess those just recently sold out, which again, thank you to everybody.
Nice.
We spent a lot of time talking about Tom.
Love Tom.
What?
Love Tom.
Let's talk about Paulo, and it sounds like there's a connection with the podcast.
Yeah. So I do also with Tom. Love Tom again. The Heavy Hole podcast with him and Big Will of Artificial Brain fame and of Heavy Hole podcast fame. And through Will and his expanse knowledge and tight friend group in underground death metal, we met up with Paulo, and Paulo came on the podcast a few times to talk Ping and brutal guttural death metal, and that was my first kind of exposure to not only him as an awesome person, but his music and his vocal talent and stuff like that, and Capremesis and shit, that new Deciphered that just came out. He's an absolute monster. So Tom and I were sitting on these riffs for a while, and we were planning on going in a completely different direction vocally, and nothing was really working out. So he had the idea, hey, let's reach out to Paulo and see what he would do. And the brutal guttural stuff is a little bit out of my wheelhouse, at least not playing wise. That's not kind of the stuff that I usually write or what I think calls for. But the more I thought about it, I thought it'd be a really nice juxtaposition with this sort of almost like hardcore influenced death metal. And we hit Paulo up, and he was psyched about it. And that's what you hear. Sent Paulo the tracks, and I told him that we wanted to sing about fungus, and he took it and ran. Gave him absolutely no notes at all. So he's a ridiculous talent.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out during the videos. There's some notes about fungal spores and stuff, and I was like, wait, is that the lyrics or is that just some stuff to go along with the animation? Or do you even know that?
Those are the lyrics.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have anything more to say about the show? Like, let's plug Heavy Holes if you want.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So Heavy Hole, we do a weekly podcast, comes out on Fridays. We're talking about all things heavy. We got interviews, bunch of guests from some bigger death metal bands and some you might know not know as well as like we like to interview local business owners, people that run venues, writers, anybody involved in that kind of feeds into the underground music machine. And we have a Patreon as well, and we do bonus content, album recommendations, just shoot the shit on random stuff. Sometimes we put a video out, a weird, Will's wants to open up his new tape in like a weird way, and we shoot that and put that out. But if you go to heavyholepodcast.com, all of our stuff is there. You can find it out.
Cool, and I'll put those links in the description too.
Thanks a lot.
So you can check that stuff out.
Oh yeah.
I noticed you have videos for 3 of your songs, but not the 4th one. Is that coming soon, or did we just decide to neglect that one? Or
the 4th one is coming soon.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. You heard it here first.
That's right.
4th video coming soon. Cool.
Can't just do 3. No
Yeah.
way. I was like, what's wrong with that song, right?
Yeah, I was like, man, that sucks. So I assume that you did all the animation for Better Buried. The Sludge Hammer is a lot of 3D animation. I'm assuming that's all you too.
Yeah, I did that as well. Again, it's based on those the sketchbook, that core group of characters, if you will. We sell a bandana on our Bandcamp also, and that's got a nice layout of all the cast, if you will. And yeah, been dabbling in like 3D animation for a bit.
And the Spore video is the same thing, because that one's a little bit different, because that's
that one's more of like archival footage, video manipulation sort of thing. Just wanted to get that out as like a more lyric video deal. I don't even remember if I put lyrics in it. I don't think I did. Oh well, I have to watch it again. But yeah, that was more of a video art, if you will. I think I just wanted to get something out, and I thought it looked cool.
live shows. Any plans?
Yeah, if you're a drummer, thedangerousthing@gmail.com. Hit me up. We can talk. You know, I'll pay you whatever the show is. Drummers are very important. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The goal is to do live shows for sure. We're just trying to get the members down and scheduling and stuff like that. It's a crazy time now. You know, if you think like the pandemic was kind of hard to get people together, now everybody's kind of waking up and coming out of the woodworks, and there's shows all the time. So a lot of people are super busy, and I'm bad at communication. So I'm hoping eventually, for sure.
So I assume that all the stuff on the album is Drum Machine.
Yeah. Yep.
I always get very jealous because I've dabbled in programming drum machines, and I thought I was pretty good until I started really listening to some other people that I didn't even realize were drum machines. And then when I did, then I felt really bad about the stuff that I do.
Yeah, it's kind of a controversial subject, you know. Some people don't like it. They don't like being tricked. Some people just prefer if you're going to do program drums, make it sound like it's programmed. I like kind of making it sound as realistic as possible, but that's just because that's my like drummer fantasy in my head. But I'm sorry if you were duped out there. And I just want you to know that I feel worse than you do, for sure.
I wish people were duped when they hear my stuff. So
the one thing that like really opened my eyes to it was that band Animals as Leaders.
Yeah.
That first full length that they had put out a while ago, like 2010, 11, somewhere around then. It was years until I realized that those were all programmed drums. Really cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I like I think Agoraphobic Nosebleed like always uses drum machines, and they like have drum solos on their stuff,
Yeah.
which is just an absurd concept to me. I'm convinced that that at some point it was inputted by a live drummer, but now it just got, manipulated enough that they're like, no, it's not a real drummer.
Yeah, I think they lean into it, and
but like that their programming is disgusting. It's disgustingly good.
Definitely. You know what? Speaking of like Dangerous Thing live shows, I might just get frustrated enough to just play with like a drum track, just to get it out there. I had a project in 2013 called Thundertaker. That was it was metal core death metal band, all focused around the Undertaker, best pro wrestler all time. So I didn't have a drummer for that, and I played with the drum machine in the back. But I think what kind of made that a little bit more of a show and fun was that did similar kind of video art to it, and the video art was projected behind us. So like where the drummer would be is just a big screen, and that kind of helped because if you're playing to a drum track, if you will, we timed it out like you were watching like an episode of Monday Night Raw, where like the songs were the matches, and then there were like vignettes and interviews that we filmed beforehand on the screen. It was a nice little package. I think there's a video of that on YouTube. There's like a Thundertaker full set.
Okay.
If you want to check that out. But I might do something similar if I get frustrated enough with Dangerous Thing and kind of incorporate the animation into it.
Cool.
So it'd be like a real like video heavy show.
Yeah. It'd be so like when somebody's like, "Hey man, you don't have a drummer. Like I don't really think this is cool," and I'll be like, "But did you the video guy? You did the videos. Like, it's not." But what about the video? Can a drummer do that? I don't know.
Or no, you go a step further. Remember the 3D hologram Tupac? Have a 3D hologram drummer.
Yeah. Oh my God. You know what? When B&H starts selling the hologram drummers, I'm on it. I'm doing it.
You're gonna pick one up.
I remember seeing Pitch Shifter back when they were, back in the early Peaceville days. And I think they did a half and half set. Like they were always like a drum machine, Godflesh kind of band. And I saw them, they had a drummer, but you could tell he wasn't doing everything.
Okay.
So I always figured, hey, if you have a drum machine, maybe you can just get somebody to just do the cymbals or, do one portion of it. And yeah, are you going to fool some people? Sure. But at least, there's maybe some things that'll come off better live and you won't necessarily be stressed about everything.
Yeah. That's fun. I enjoy playing live a lot. I miss it every day. And I try, always to make it a show at the expense of my own body and, still feeling those shows from 10 years ago now. So hopefully when Dangerous Thing does play a live show, it'll be appreciated. Whether or not there's a drummer there, I'll make it worth your while for sure.
Yeah, I've seen we've had Oxlade on a couple times, and I think one of the dudes from Stabbed, I think, was super into wrestling.
Yeah,
Sam.
And I've definitely seen these show flyers from those dudes a lot, where they're like, 4 live bands and a ringless death match too. So
okay,
I've been, I don't know, I definitely have been seeing those flyers, and I'm like, even though I'm not a big wrestling guy, I'm like, I kind of need to go to see what the hell they're doing at these shows, that they're going to have a wrestling match at the show. And I don't know, that seems like something that you would super be into.
I've been to a few no-ring deathmatch shows before.
Okay.
And they're very intense.
Wow.
Very intense. Yeah, there's this guy from Brooklyn, Casanova Valentine.
Okay.
Local deathmatch celebrity. Check him out on the socials or whatever. He's brilliant and kind of really pushed the no-ring deathmatch in Brooklyn for the past few years for sure.
Cool.
I also play in a wrestling theme song cover band the original wrestling theme song cover band, Kings of the Ring. And we dabble in the sports entertainment arts, bringing the full circle, the whole thing.
Okay.
Love wrestling.
Is that Bandcamp where you could go and hear that?
No, I don't think there's any recorded. YouTube, searching on YouTube, there's some stuff there.
Cool.
So yeah, I need to hear a little bit more about this. So what do you like? I guess I don't know what a wrestling cover tune is. I always figured they just played metal songs and wannabe metal songs.
Okay, so all right, great. Here we go. So so when we're talking about like wrestling music, we're talking about entrance themes. People coming out in entrance themes. So most of the entrance themes, if you're a fan of like old WWF, those were written by a man called Jim Johnson, and he, from like the Ultimate Warrior theme to like the Jake the Snake, with the exception like Macho Man is like a classic, it's the Pomp and Circumstance orchestral, or I think it was like Rick Derringer did I'm a Real American back in the day. But everybody in between, going all the way to like Stone Cold, The Rock, The Undertaker, Kane, all that 90s shit was all written by this guy Jim Johnson, and he was there for a healthy amount of time. And those are like, if like Triple H's song, like the Motorhead Triple H theme song, didn't have as much of a hand as Black Sabbath as getting me into metal, like I'd be lying. You know what I mean? Wrestling played a huge part in at least my whole musical journey. But okay, so what we do in Kings of the Ring is we interpret those old entrance themes into like heavy metal songs, rocking like heavy metal songs is the best way to put it. And then everybody's dressed up, and there's a show, and there's always a referee and a match breaking out somewhere. And yeah.
That sounds like a good time. I like that. I'm gonna YouTube it. I'll YouTube it.
Right on.
Cool. So you played a bunch of shows and just taped them and put them on YouTube?
I think people just took cell phone videos. We didn't really. Again, we were bad at taking it seriously. Whatever.
Yeah.
There might be a Halloween show coming up in the future. Things of the Ring.
Okay.
That's good.
I'm assuming that people in attendance are encouraged to come in costume themselves?
No, not at all. Not unless you're looking for like a brawl or a fight or something like that.
Okay, so if you come in costume, you will expect that people will confuse you for being in the show, and you will get involved, possibly to your own detriment.
The band will assume that you are threatening them, and then you will be forced to lock up. So rather than wearing like a wrestling costume, we're encourage people to bring signs. Bring signs. Who's your favorite member? You know what I mean? Sing along. Buy a popcorn. Buy a T-shirt. Kind of things like that. All the marks out there, as we say.
The marks.
Funny. What does the future hold for Dangerous Thing in terms of new material? Are you working on anything new for the band, or?
Yeah, I have about six or seven tracks kind of ready to go for next Dangerous Thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's I mentioned before, like staying in the same lane for a little while, like kind of makes me anxious. So it'll be a little bit different, possibly a little more like crossover, like thrash kind of inspired, little more old New York hardcore inspired kind of thing. But still riffs and still heavy, and just working out the details on what to do for it.
Cool.
Yeah, but trying to keep it going for sure.
Awesome. That's awesome.
What are some of your other influences with the EP that you put out? Like you mentioned old school hardcore. Is there like particular bands? I mean, I know I hear some stuff in it, but I always hate putting that stuff out there because I'm sure it might or might not be correct, but
oh, I would definitely love to hear that. But at the time that the 4-song EP that was put out, one of my favorite bands in the world. They're not like old school by any stretch, but the Red Chord from Massachusetts, one of my favorites. Very influenced by them. Old Deeds of Flesh, listening a lot to. Believe it or not, there's definitely like some Glassjaw influence in there. Some like Faith No More, a little bit. Decapitated, like the first few Decapitated records.
Yeah.
Especially that song, Dry and Cracked Out. A lot of Decapitated kind of went into that, I feel. I listen to a lot of Bjork also. There's something to be said about like when you're in the creative process of writing, taking yourself out of the genre that you're writing, and trying to like bring influences in and, you know, different rhythms that you hear and interpret them in weird ways and put out something heavy that might be a little fresh. I don't know. That at least is my wish or goal. But yeah, off the top of my head, it's a good handful of deal. Death, obviously. I'm a lame dude. I'm a loser person, you know, where I really only started to listening to Death maybe like 3 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah, somehow it just missed.
Wow.
So the past 3 years I've been soaking it in and making up for lost time. So there's a lot of Chuck in some of those structure, like note structures, if you will. But yeah, a lot of it, and frustration too, was just went into it as well. I think I wrote one of the songs on it in tab on my computer while I was working in the city, commuting back and forth. So usually those riffs went in when the train was delayed or were just stopped at like Carl Place for no reason, and went into there. And I'm kind of trying to recycle old ideas. I don't know. But yeah.
I used to commute back when pre-pandemic, and it was like the commute sucked because it took so many hours out of your day, but then it definitely gave you that time to just be like, I'm gonna do shit on my computer and nobody can bother me, and I don't even have to answer the phone for my wife if I don't want to, you know.
Yeah
just be like in it.
You got to make the best of it, for sure. So I would be interested to hear like some of the stuff you heard about it.
I definitely, you know what? It's funny. I probably would have said Faith No More, maybe a little Bungle.
You know what I heard in a little bit, and I hope you like that band, or I don't know. I don't mean it as an insult. If you like, I heard like the first opening track of the first track, a little Candiria-ish.
Oh, maybe. Cool. Yeah. Well, I like that.
Okay, good. Good, because actually also, you know, interesting. I like the production. I think, though, for some reason, it immediately clicked in my head. Like, the production reminded me, it almost brought me back to, like, late 90s, early 2000s a little, how it is produced and how it sounded. And I just thought, like, yeah, what you were doing was like really original, though, in terms of like that, yeah, the guttural death vocals with that type of riffing. I was like, what the hell is this? It was like a breath of fresh air. It's just interesting. It was like, you know, compared to like all this other stuff coming out, it just was really kind of cool and original for sure.
I really appreciate you saying that. That's awesome.
I think the only other one that struck maybe was like little bits of Voivod in there. And I don't know if maybe also that's because of the wacky sci-fi planet stuff that was going on. Maybe that was making me think, you know, of like all Ways stuff, his, you know, doodles, if you will.
Yeah. I love it.
Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Cool.
No problem. So I guess let's maybe just talk a little bit more about the art and what, because it seems like, you know, with 3 videos, a 4th on the way, like your band is definitely one that seems like almost just as much about the visuals and the art as it is about the music. What else are you doing besides like the coffins and the videos? Not that there's too much more to do, but like what do you have plans for that type of stuff?
Well, yeah, it definitely is. I'm definitely trying to use Dangerous Thing as an outlet for as much creativity as possible. And since I have my hands in so many different mediums, if you will, It's fun. One thing that I would absolutely love to do, it's like a dream, and I hope I can make it happen, is I want to make slippers out of the foot. You know, I want the foot to be like big, like nice Christmas morning slippers. You know what I mean? For what, you know, do that, or, you know, at least make some kind of like 3D printed like action figure that goes around with it, and play a little more around with the dumpster. I think on the Instagram, the Dangerous Thing Instagram, I messed around with a few 3D renders of a casket that is a dumpster, right? The foot is sitting in there, and I'd love to put that out as like a, you know, an action figure, toy, or something like that. Again, you know, wrestling, you can't just watch it. You have to buy the toys and bring it home. So, yeah, that would probably be, that's probably for the next release, I'd be leaning a little bit more into that.
And the gold foot is a render. That's not a real piece of jewelry. That's on the Instagram.
Yeah, that's a render. But we're, you know, things are working.
Things are working. You're not going to have like a K license for the charm for the foot, extra revenue.
Yeah, you know, maybe one of the other dreams is, you know, make one of them little things that go into the Crocs, you know, the holes in Crocs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a giblet or something like that.
Yeah.
Make a little gold giblet for people.
Well, I mean, do you have a 3D printer? Because I figure once you have that CAD drawing or whatever, the 3D model, then like producing it's got to be like that. You're halfway there, right?
Yeah, this is my problem, is I'll just start buying shit, and then and that's my money. There it goes. So I do have to pump the brakes a little bit, you know. At least right now, I'm doing a lot of fishing in the summer and not a lot of riffing. So when it gets colder out, I'll start getting back into trying to make some of these ideas realities a little bit.
Cool. Very cool.
Anybody else you want to plug? You know, bands you've played with, things that we should check out that we might not know about, anything like that? Side projects, other weird shit that we might not know about?
Man, well, you know, it's I would want to plug like one of my old bands, you know, selfishly. I would say people go check out Ultra Geist, if you haven't heard of it. That's Ultra Geist. It's not metal enough for Metallum, but I think it's pretty good. And that was another project with myself and Tom and a bunch of good people. We almost made it, as they say. We broke up with contracts on the table, and whatever, shit happens. But I love a lot of that music, and it's still kind of the core of you know, my writing style is a lot of that's in that band. So I would say check that out. I would say now that things are opening up, go to your local venue and buy drinks and see music.
Yeah.
Help out all those people that were closed down. Go see, you know, fucking Stabbed and Dying Fetus at St. Vitus and buy a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Go see Moontooth at Amityville Music Hall and support that and buy a shirt. Go see Wreath of Tongues at Amityville Music Hall. All those good people. Yeah, just give the love back to the music. Spend the stimulus check on your friend's band.
Sure.
The Ultra Geist project is on Bandcamp, I assume?
The Ultra Geist project is on iTunes and Spotify, and I believe there's something on Bandcamp. Yeah.
Okay, I will take a look.
Right on.
If you see if you see it in the description, it means I found it. If you do not, it means that I could not find it.
I'll send you a link. We started that band with the idea of trying to be a dying fetus meets the Mars Volta.
Oh wow! Okay.
I thought we came. Maybe I don't know. You be the judge.
Cool. I'll check it out. Yeah, I never checked it out. I'll check it out for sure.
It was fun.
Cool.
Shout out to the New Jersey Devils getting Dougie Hamilton today.
Is that why you're wearing the shirt, Chris?
It might be. It might be. I don't. I I don't want to confirm or deny that fact.
When do those damn Devils ever get the top free agent available?
Never. But so we'll see. We'll see how.
Shout out to the Buffalo Sabres for just being really shitty about Jack Eichel and not letting them to the Rangers, who's my favorite.
Yeah, I don't really know what they're doing, but I'm not, whatever.
I'm a little tired today because I was just refreshing Twitter all day with free agency, just going like, what the fuck's going on? These moves are crazy.
Who's your team?
Rangers.
Okay.
So, so we're Rangers are just trying to get big. They're trying to get ready for like the E-Town Concrete reunion or something like that. It's fucking ridiculous. Trading away Buchnevich for nothing. What are you going to do? I try and talk sports on Heavy Hole. Nobody likes it.
Nobody likes it. It's okay. I don't know. I used to go through Madison Square Garden. I used to work like literally a half a block away from there. So I was always going through MSG when the Rangers games were going on, and sometimes I'd have a Devils jersey on and people would say shit, but
when
it's all fun.
When the worst people are coming from Eastern Long Island, just pouring into Penn Station. Hey, I'm one of them. I'm one of those terrible people, so can't say much.
No, the Rangers have been doing okay. Anyway, but you get complaints about hockey talk on Heavy Hole?
No, I just get ignored.
You just get ignored?
Yeah, I just get ignored. Just mull over it. Will ain't having that shit. And I trust him. He knows.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's definitely more of a crossover with metal and video games and metal and wrestling than there is with metal and hockey for some reason.
Yeah.
It's crazy because there's just as much fighting in hockey as there is in wrestling.
I know. And, I try to relate. I know video games. I go, hey, you ever hear this video game? It's called NHL 21. It's like, it's really fun. I'm having a good time in it. It's PlayStation 5, right? Still nothing.
Nothing. No. Yeah, no, we get, whenever we ask people what they do in their spare time besides metal, it's just a lot of video game answers, a lot of wrestling. I'm trying to think of what the other ones are that we get, and a fair degree of artists, but that I get, like, and I sort of do miss, because I've gone all digital, and I do miss the, walking into a record store and, being 14 and buying something just because the album cover was just fucking that awesome,
Absolutely. Yeah. But I still do it. I still go through Bandcamp and just judge things by the cover,
I will admit I have judged bands by the cover many, many times, and I still do it. And I shouldn't, but I can't help myself.
And if your band has a really awesome cover, I'm going to try twice as hard to like it, just so I can have that up. It's just on my phone. Good. Yeah.
Totally fair though. Totally fair. And if your album cover sucks, it's very difficult. I totally get that.
Artists are important. Talk to them if you're in a band. Try and work with them. Let's help present yourself in the best possible way.
Are you open to doing art for other bands?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the business.
Yeah, I remember one of my Facebook friends was giving some band a lot of shit for stealing somebody's art, and deservedly so. And it was just extra weird to me because I was like, man, there's got to be tons of art students and really talented people who would just love to cut a deep discount for a band to use their artwork because they're just into it. So why would you ever have to steal artwork like that? It's just so stupid.
Oh my God! More often than not, if you reach out to that artist, yeah, they might just give it to you, and just say, yeah, absolutely, go ahead, thank you, send me one when you get it pressed. Stealing is bad, everybody should know that. Mm-hmm. Stealing's not good. Steal riffs, steal artwork. It's kind of the deal, but everything is so accessible now. It's so easy. Like when you see a picture on your phone, it's very easy to just screenshot it. Now that's yours. That's in there with the pictures of you and your mom. So You know, you kind of you feel you have ownership over it. But yeah, respect the local artist, as they say. If you
Cool.
you know, please do.
Well, hopefully you'll get some inquiries and maybe we'll see your shit on some other band stuff soon, or t-shirts at least.
Right on, man. Yeah, I had the opportunity a couple of years ago. I did Sworn Enemy's most recent release.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. Great cool. Bunch of guys there.
Cool.
And Dangerous Thing. Oh yeah, do that. That one.
You got t-shirt. I mean, you gotta be thinking t-shirts, right?
Yeah. I think I want to do sweatpants first.
Interesting.
How many t-shirts do we all have? There's so many shirts, and like I have this really this grudge, this life war against Gildan shirts. They are the cheapest, absolutely, but they are some of the worst fitting, and they shrink, and nothing. And I'm a tall brother, so everything's really gets all crop toppy on me, and I have to get a 3XL, to kind of cover the belt, a little bit, and it's wrong. But if you want a shirt with length, you got to pay $12 a blank, and it gets a little crazy. So I went with bandanas and sweatpants, hopefully in the future, and slippers, like I said.
I'm not a sweatpants guy, but if you had pajama pants, that I might be able to do.
I'm about to, when we hang up tonight, I'm going to write a nice letter to Zubaz. And I'm going to see if Zubaz would want to maybe do a collaboration. If you're not familiar with Zubaz, check those colorful zebra print pants. You see a lot of football players wear. That company was actually started by Animal, one half of the Legion of Doom, professional wrestling fame.
I didn't know that. Interesting. Yeah, I know Legion of Doom. Okay.
He actually, so he would wear Zubaz to the ring all the time, and people would be like, "Whoa, what are those cool pants you're wearing?" And he's like, "Here's my company. Have a card."
Oh, wow.
Now they do every football team,
Wow.
And soon, Dangerous Thing. They will do Dangerous Thing soon.
I like it.
Cool.
Man.
You got anything else, Eric?
That's it. We covered everything.
I think we got everything. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's Thank you.
So yeah, I mean, I think I would just want to echo what Eric said, that I think the EP that you did was definitely one of the more original things that we've heard in a while. I mean, I sort of cut a break to a lot of bands that aren't original if they're real good. I'm like, I don't fucking care that this is not original. Yeah. I just fucking love it, and who cares? But your stuff definitely, I know it when I hear it, and if you had a new album without knowing who it was, I would if it sounded like what you just did, I'd be like, yeah, that's their shit.
Thank you, brother. I really, really appreciate that.
Cool.
That's awesome.
And just thanks for coming on and shooting the shit with us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, and shout out to Heavy Hole, shout out to Will, Paulo, Tom, who are not here.
Right on, man. Yeah, shout out to all those brothers, and you guys, man. Thank you so much.
Cool. Great. Appreciate it. Yeah, for sure. And we got a Facebook page, and friend us, and we'll friend Heavy Hole, and we'll use that as a vehicle to help promote anything that you got coming out. So let us know when you have stuff.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Cool.
Awesome.
Okay. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for joining. Peace out.